Hey, Palmerettis. It is Wednesday, April 8th. Hopefully you just watched my quick midweek chat with you guys. Hopefully you're digging my graphics. Oh, I'm getting big time here. Math, what I want to do in this little lesson here, get caught up, is just review Monday's homework about area and perimeter. I didn't give you many homework problems to do because it's a challenging lesson. But what I want you to do is review that area and perimeter. Go over the problems that we did because it's a challenging lesson. We're going to do a reteach. You know, every morning we would come and there would be a reteach page. I didn't give you those to you because that would have been crazy. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk through it because to me, out of this lesson of chapter 13, since we started this before spring break that Wednesday and Thursday, and we've walked through it slowly here, 7 lessons. We'll do get to the next lesson in the next video for next week. But this was probably the most challenging. If you notice, topics 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 had to do with conversions. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you don't show your work and do the conversions and read carefully, you're going to make mistakes. So I'm catching a lot of you guys on there. I've probably written those words, convert, conversions, show your work, a million times again. So you got to. So area equals length times width, or you could say base times height. Perimeter equals 2 times the length. When you have a number and a letter side by side, that's getting into that algebra. That's multiplication. Parentheses, so we're going to do that. Add that to 2 times the width, okay? So review that, guys. If this is one lesson that I say get on you about, so I gave you only one lesson this week for math. Get on this one. Now, I had some comments about the videos. There's a lot of videos. I don't know which ones to watch. Watch them all. You have the time, so watch them all. Now, watch the ones that go with math and watch the ones that go with science. So that way you're kind of seeing what's going on. I gave you a lot of them for Khan Academy, some YouTube ones as far as area and perimeter. It can't hurt if you watch them. Pause the video games, turn off the TV, sit down and just watch these videos, all right? You got the time. So let's go over homework page 173 and 174, and then we'll get to a reteach page, okay? All right. So on this page, okay, this homework page, we already did these 3 problems. I want you to review them. Find the area if the perimeter is 86. Find n if the perimeter is 60 2/4. Find the perimeter. Okay, and they give you the area in that. So review these. Now for this one right here, it says find n. So they gave us the area, and it equals length times width or base times height. This is a big problem. What I love about these problems is it's the same repetitive steps, and we've seen this in other lessons. If you figure out the repetition, it's kind of like division, right? We divide, we multiply, we subtract, bring down. Once you learn those steps and you learn those rhythms and those patterns and repetitions, you're going to knock this lesson out. So you plug in the numbers. So area, 28. Length or width, I don't care which one you choose. If you put it over here, that's 2, so what? Now you go into your math problems. A lot of us, what we would do is say 28 times 2, we would get 56. Well, 56 times 2 would be over 100. So that's not going to work. If we put subtraction, it's not going to work, 26. If we put adding, it's going to be a third. It's not going to work. So we can divide 28 divided by 2 and get 14, or we could say 14 times 2 is 28. Guys, just review these problems, if anything, and look over the work that they did. They did a lot of good work, okay? Over here, number 5, okay, was a good problem, and it's a multi-step problem, had nothing to do with area and perimeter. It was a review problem, right? So it said on Friday, that many fans attended the baseball game at a Major League Baseball park. On Saturday, that many fans attended. And on Sunday, that many attended. How many more fans attended on Saturday and Sunday than on Friday? Right here, you should have known to add those. So you'd take 41,681, and you add that to 42,905. Had a few of you not line them up correctly. Be careful with that. 6, 8, 15. By the way, those that keep catching my mistakes, I love it. It means you're paying attention to the videos. Keep doing it. Doesn't hurt my feelings. It's just like us sitting in class. Well, that was Saturday and Sunday. So they combined those. And it didn't say combine, but we saw Saturday and Sunday. How many more? We knew we were going to do some subtraction here. So we take that 39,000. Make sure I'm writing the correct numbers. 212. That's one thing you always want to check when you go from here to here or write them there. Make sure you're writing the right numbers. 473. You have to regroup here for a 5 and a 4, and your final answer should be 45,374. Some of us made mistakes there. Again, look back at your work. Not a problem. That happens, right? So check it. Redo it. Review number 6. I love this. This was a square, so 4 equal sides. Review that one. Down here, number 7. Take a peek back at this one. All the ways to get to 48. We saw this on the colored pages too. Down here, working this through. If each one of these is a 1 inch. Down here, well, we're going 2 times 60, 120. 3 times 60, 180. Basic math facts, right? Because you see 3 times 6 is 18. Plug in the 0. Now, I had somebody, I forget who it was, I think it was Alexandra maybe, who reached out and said, Mr. Coletti, you forgot 3 times 20. I did forget 3 times 20, so thank you. Again, you're catching my mistakes. But like I said, it had to be at least 4 feet high, so that's not going to work because it's only a 3. And it had to be at least no more than 6 feet high, so that's why these other ones were better answers. And then down here, number 11, we walked through together. Make sure you check it. Make sure you show your work. All right, this was a tough one. But again, if you do the box method for 28 times 15, okay. Now, I'm going to say this to you guys out there. Ask your parents to teach you 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication, okay? So where you have 28 times 15, this is something we were going to get to, but we didn't get to. So 5 times 8, 5 times 2 plus 4. Okay, we're going to this area here, so we have to put what's called that 0 there. We get an 8, we get a 2, and we're going to get 420. This is something that if you want to talk with your parents about, some of you already know it, but parents, grandparents, step-parents, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews that are older siblings, teach them that because we did not get to that yet. Something I'm going to tackle later on, but if you want to start getting that into the systems, go for it. Okay, so that's that lesson. Okay, area and perimeter. This was a bear of a lesson. I know the video took a while. That was challenging. So what I want to tackle right here and do some review. Okay, here's a Reteach page. You can pause it to read it because you don't have it. It walks you through the formula for areas of rectangles, perimeter of a rectangle. Same thing for a square. They didn't put that in there because the square is part of the rectangle family. A rectangle has a length of, and we're going to work on this one here. Just read through this. But if you want to pause it, just pause it. Let me make sure I point to it. I can see it. Yeah. So a rectangle has a length of 24 feet, a width of 6 feet. Here's what's good about this. They're asking you what's the perimeter and the area of the rectangle. Guys, we can't do this without a drawing. I like to have drawings, okay? So I'm going to draw my rectangle, okay? Going to draw my rectangle. Bam, done, right? They said the length was 24 feet. So I'm going to make that 24 feet, all right? The width was 6 feet. I'm going to make that 6 feet right there. From here, we can find both the perimeter and the area, right? Because area equals, that's right, length times width, right? Or base times height. So here, I just plug them in. We don't know the area, but we know it's 24 times 6, right? We can do that one, 24 times 6. All right, work it out. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait for you. All right, 6 times 4 is? Nice, 24. Basic math facts, keep studying those. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So there's our area. Our area equals 144 square feet. Talk about that. With area, we say square feet. Put that SQ there. Square, abbreviated SQ, feet, abbreviated FT. Now, from here, okay, I'm going to change up my color. We can do perimeter. Perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. You'll notice that sometimes they don't put the parentheses, right? Okay, so they can do it with parentheses or without. I like to put them. So 2 times the length, 2 times 24. 2 times the width, 2 times 6. Now watch how you can work this side by side. What's 24 doubled? Yeah, 48. What's 6 times 2? 12. What do we do with those? Yep, add them. 8 and 2, 4, 5, 6, and we get 60 feet. Okay, so now let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about this. Area was 144 square feet. Perimeter equaled 60 feet. Now let's talk about this in real life scenario, okay? You go to Lowe's, you're home, and you want to paint your wall. So Nevaeh calls me up and says she wants to paint her wall pink. Well, when she looks at her wall, if there's no door, if there's no window, this whole wall is going to get painted. Let's think about this as the wall in front of our classroom, right? There's nothing there except our boards. So we'll take everything off and we're going to paint it. To paint this entire area, it's going to take 144 square feet of paint. So she'd have to figure out what she would need. Well, Carter comes to me and says, you know what? I'm going to do a garden at home, but I want to keep out the critters, right? So he's got to do fencing. all along here. All right, maybe some of you are doing border at home or your trim at home, or you want to do some crown molding and you want to do it up and around the ceiling or up around the wall. It's going to go around it, border, trim, edging. Okay, if you were outside and you were doing brick around an area, around a sidewalk, well, to get it all the way around, let's say you went to buy that chain link fence, you would need to get 60 feet of fence to go all the way around here, okay? Now, in real world, we'd get a little bit of extra paint. We'd get a little bit of extra trim and fencing just in case we had a mistake. But the perimeter area, got that? So, guys, pause this. Look at it. Now, I want to look at one more. Down here says, find the perimeter of the rectangle, then find the area of the rectangle. Again, we're dealing with a rectangle. If it was a square, it'd be a square. So I'm going to redraw it. All right, I got 7 inches. I got 3 inches. They're using IN for inches. I had a couple of you putting an INC. INC would not be for inches. Okay? So let's talk this through. Well, they said to find the area of the rectangle and find the perimeter. So area equals length times width. Do we know the area? No. But we know it's 7 times 3, and what does that equal? That's right, 21 square inches. Every time we're dealing with area, we want to say square. Now for perimeter, it's 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. I won't put the parentheses this time, okay? So what are you going to multiply? Do we know the perimeter? No, they said to find the perimeter. So we do 2 times, what's the length? Yeah, 2 times 7. What does that equal? 14. Then we do 2 times 3. What does that equal? 6, right? So what's the perimeter? Perimeter equals 20 inches. Okay? All right, you see that? So, like I said, as I've looked at all the lessons, I've planned out the rest of the year just in case we don't come back. If we do come back, we're planned out. This will be, area and perimeter will be one of the toughest ones that we finish up with. There's a couple other ones that are coming down the pike that are a little challenging, but this area and perimeter is super tough. One thing in this reteach, they didn't do any fractions. So look back over those fraction ones, because what they did is they just tapped into your knowledge that you already have of your fractions. So don't panic. Review it. Go over it. All right? Make sure and stay in touch. Communicate with me, and I'm here for you. All right? Miss you guys. Love you guys.